FRISCO, Texas. Texas is one of a select few college football programs in the rare area where rebuilding can be viewed as an unacceptable practice. The standard on the 40 acres is competing for and winning championships, something the Longhorns haven't done since 2009 when the program captured its most recent Big 12 title. To hear Tom Herman talk during Big 12 Media Days last week about the Longhorns being farther along than we were at this time last year in the process of being a championship program is probably something a good chunk of the burnt orange faithful won't be doing backflips over. Nevertheless, a program in the midst of the second worst decade of football in its history, a 53-48 record since 2010 makes for a .525 winning percentage, which is ahead of only a .515 winning percentage, or 7.446, hosted by the Longhorns of the 1930s. Needs every step in the right direction it can muster in order to be a consistent winner like Texas was in the halcyon days under Mack Brown. 110 wins and a .853 winning percentage during the 2000s are school records for a decade. So, where exactly is Texas in the process of being a championship-caliber program? "We're in a better place," Herman said from his seat in front of reporters at the Ford Center in Frisco. "We're on schedule, I guess, is the right way to put it, considering what Herman and co. walked into when the Texas brass hired the former University of Houston head coach to replace Charlie Strong. One has to look beyond the 7-6 record and win over Missouri in the Academy Sports Outdoors Texas Bowl in Herman's first year to see what strides the Longhorns made and to get a better idea of where things might be headed. There were things as players and coaches we all would have done differently," Herman said. "But also, not glad they happened, but you can certainly see the learning occur because of them." A .500 regular season meant some things didn't go the way the Longhorns would have liked. A forgettable debut for Herman against Maryland, a 51-41 loss where fans were throwing debris onto the field before the final gun, seemed to zap whatever preseason momentum the program carried into the regular season, and close losses to USC 27-24 in double overtime, Oklahoma 29-24, Oklahoma State 13-10 in overtime, and Texas Tech 27-23 prevented Texas from truly getting over the hump and getting it back. Injuries suffered by Connor Williams, knee, Elijah Rodriguez, ankle, and Andrew Beck, foot before and during the season helped deter the offense from ever getting on track. The issues on offense combined with the lack of a reliable field goal kicker for most of the year made the Longhorns consistently inefficient trying to move the sticks and in the red zone, which contributed to 5 losses the program suffered by a combined 25 points. Only a 24-7 loss to TCU was by more than 10 points. The fact that the Longhorns were competitive in every game was one of the positive steps made in Herman's debut. Whereas the Longhorns lost 17 games by at least 20 points in the 7 seasons prior to Herman's arrival, 7 of those losses occurred in the 3 seasons of Strong's tenure. An average margin of defeat of 7 points in the 6 losses in 2017 was due in part to Texas playing hard and competing for 4 quarters, which was one of Herman's goals for the squad entering the season. "We had a lot of really good things happen to us last year," Herman said. "We're going to learn from the good things that didn't go well and hope to prevent them from happening." Herman pointed to a win over Kansas State in September, a victory resulting in the Longhorns coming out on top in 3 of the last 5 meetings with the Wildcats and Bill Snyder, and beating a hot SEC opponent in the Texas Bowl. Missouri arrived in Houston having won 6 in a row, as bright spots. "There were enough positives," Herman said, "like adding to the team's talent base with the nation's no. Ranked 2018 recruiting class according to 247 Sports, and seeing head strength coach Yancey McKnight do a tremendous job of developing athletes in the off-season program that have him optimistic about what's to come. What has to happen when preseason practice begins on August 3, Herman said, is the Longhorns have to take the lessons learned from last season, combine them with the improvements they will have made from the time preparations for the Texas Bowl began, and buy into the team's off-season mantra of continuing to develop and learning how to finish and turn it into fuel to propel the squad to more wins in 2018. What's next for the Texas Longhorns? Make sure you stay in the loop by signing up for a free 7-day trial to Horns 247 now. regardless of how many wins the Longhorns improve. By in his second season, Herman just wants to continue to see tangible evidence he can point to in order to show that things are headed in the right direction. Considering no Texas head coach since Darrell Royal has won more games in his second season than he did in his debut, 6-4-1 in 1957 with an improvement to 7-3 in 1958, means being at least one game better than last season would be a notch in Herman's belt. Again, it's not where the Longhorns want to be, but right now it's all about taking the right steps in order to get where they eventually want to go as a program. Continual improvement towards a goal that's somewhere down the road, Herman said, but as long as you're continuing to make progress, that's success. In my opinion, I see us on schedule and I see us ahead of where we were last year.